welcome back. I'm so happy you're here, and of course I hope everyone has an amazing day. For today we are going to use some smaller tumbling towel blocks. Of course, you know, if you are here for a long time, you know the measurement for the bigger and the smaller blocks are down below in the description box. I have here my container with everything inside, but the most important is of course the glue. I use the wood glue. You can use some other glue, but be careful that it doesn't break. I have here my old saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel which is wet to wipe away the glue. And this is paint, but it's just an example. You can choose any color you like. What we're going to make for today, we are going to make, because the season is coming, we are going to make some present. But of course, you can change the present also out for the Easter season, for the 4th of July. You can choose any colors you like. So I hope you join me. And you see already on the table is the first step. We're going to make a little bit like the shape of a rectangle present. At least it will be a very easy one. Everyone can make it, and you can change it up any way you like. So I have 8 pieces of 5. So 8 pieces of 5, and I'm just going to do the smallest line of the block and just simply row them together this way. Over here, oh, you see already, he is already flipping around. That's why if you want to do it too fast, and this way. And I love always to decorate with presents. And of course, I'm going to make a little bit of the smaller presents because my space is not the biggest. So a lot of you have more space, but the houses here in the Netherlands are not too big. But I hear from our friend Ella, she also have not a lot of space to decorate. So Ella, this one is also a little bit for you, because this is more for the smaller spaces, maybe on a tea tray. You can place it anywhere. And of course, you can also size down. You can even make it a little smaller. And you see already, this is number 5, and now number 7 of 5, of number 8 of 5, of course. And now we have our 8 pieces of 5, and we're just going to squeeze them from the inside to the outside. Very easy. Just press it together. And over here. And of course, I don't do all the DIY together with you in cleaning it up and pressing it together. But the most I'm going to show you, because this is the channel, I show everything. Also what is going wrong and the mistakes I make. And of course, I make a lot of mistakes, because DIYing is also making mistakes, and that's fine, because that's you can learn from, and the next time you do it in a different way. You get it up, turn it over, and do the back side. Clean the top side, and always make sure that you have a clean surface. Do the back side, and here the same. Do the top, get it off, and clean it up the back side. And you do here the same. Get it up your table, and of course I'm going to pick it up because it's easy with 5 blocks, but if you have a longer row, it's much more difficult to get it off your table. And then do it fast and just place it straight up and do the back side. If you have a longer row, just clean it up this way. Make sure that you do it fast and clean it up and do the back side. Now the last 2, and again we clean it up and do the back side. Here the same. And now we're going to have the last one, clean it up, and of course now we want to be sure that our pieces are straight also. So we're going to do it on the fingertips and place it down. You do it here on the fingertips, place it down. And if you have a carpenter square, you're totally fine. Then you just place it under. I always do it with my fingers. Most of the time, I don't even do it this way. I'm just eyeball it with my eyes. But of course, if you want to be sure, always place it straight up this way. Press it down and just again squeeze it straight up. Press it down, squeeze it. And the last one. And then we're going to give it a ½ minute drying. Not more, only a ½ minute. So now we waited a ½ minute. We take 4 pieces of this one, and of course this 4 pieces over here, and we make sure that the blocks line up in this way. We're going to do some glue on the topping over here, place it down. You do some glue over here, make sure that the whole piece is having some glue over here. And the last, of course, is the closure up. Then you're going to press it together gently, fill in the open gaps. That's why we only wait a ½ minute drying. We do here the same, the tops over here. You do the tops over here, and this one. And number 4 is again the closure up. You're going to fill in the open gaps, be gentle, and also go back to the side because also there you want to have a straight line. We're going to get our wet towel, we're going to wipe away the glue, and again make sure that everything is sticking nicely, and then do it fast, place it straight up, clean up your mat, and do the back side. Do it fast, place it straight up, clean up your mat, and do the back side. Now we have the top and the bottom of the first longer present, and now we're going to make the sides. So now we have on the table the sides, and of course we have 8 sets of 2, so 8 sets of 2. Do you want to have your present bigger or higher or thicker, how you call it? Then you do 8 sets of 3 or 8 sets of 4. You can make it as high as you like, but I want to make it a rectangle shape, but also a smaller shape. But you can size up if you want to. Of course, we're going to glue the smallest line of the block and stick them together this way. So very easy. You just go the line over here. And this is a very simple way just to make your own little present. And you also can give it as a gift. And you can, of course, you can paint the outside, but you also can give it some paper on the side, just maybe from someone who likes maybe Harry Potter, or I don't know where they into Grinch. You can make it any color you like, so you don't have to do the way that I do. You can choose anything you like. So now it's easy. Do the top, clean up the back side, and do this side over here, clean it up, and here the same. Very simple. Do the back side, but make sure that everything keeps a straight line, because that's what you want. And over here to the back side, and over here, and again squeeze it tightly. I see already I didn't squeeze this one too hard, and again I'm going to back and see that he has a straight line. And the last, and now I'm going to let them dry in only for a half minute again. So now we keep 2 apart, and we have 3 of here and 3 of here, and we're just going to do some glue on the top side and over here, and just roll them together over here and over here, and just make a simple block out of it. You do here the same. Make sure that you press them together this way, and you're just going to clean it up this way and over here. And now we're going to let this dry in for a little moment. And of course I was looking at my piece. I think this is not going right. This is not going right. We have our 2 loose pieces of 2 and this 2 of 3, but we need this one to glue, of course, also over here, and this one also over here. We have to make a block of 4 and not of 3. And again we're going to squeeze it, and we're going to clean it up. And this way I have to be sure that I have it in a straight line, and then clean it up and do the back side straight up and do the back side. So you need here 4 sets of 2, and you need here 4 sets of 2. In the meantime, while these sides are drying, we're going to do the top side, and we need 4 sets of 2. So very easy, 4 sets of 2. Just roll them together this way and over here and over here, and also this 2. You're just going to turn them, squeeze them, turn them, squeeze them, and again, and you do the last, and we're going to clean it up, but that's very easy and fast to do. So over here you do the back side, this side, over here, and this side, and this one. And now we're going to make sure that we have all of them in a straight line, and let it dry in for a half minute. So now we're going to turn them in the length of our blocks, and we do some glue on the tops. Roll it over here, and this one over here. Make sure that everything is fitting nicely, and make sure that you fill in all the gaps. And we're going to let this dry in also, at least this 2 and this 2. Let them dry in for now maybe 15-20 minutes. So now we have all our parts, our 2 pieces of the bigger planks, and of course the sides, 2 longer one, 2 smaller one. What we're going to do, we place one over here and we're going to get a longer piece and we just do some glue on the inside, of course, over here, a little under and this way, and we just simply place it against here. You do here the same, just simply do some glue on the underline, but on the inside of your piece, and you're just going to place it over here, and then you gently press it together. Make sure that you just gently only press on the underside, not on the top side, on the underside, and again this way. And now we're going to get the side where we do some glue on this side and we go under, around, and we go up again. So like this, and we just place it. Now we have it closed also on the sides, and you do here the same, some glue on this side. Oh, you see already on this side, you go down and you go up again, and we place this one on this side, and then we're going to press everything nicely together this way. And we just also press on the underside and on the underside over here. And we give this, I think a couple of minutes drying. So you see already, this one is falling inside. Of course, you can place it inside, but this is not going to work. I totally forgot that this one needs to glue on the inside. What I'm going to do, I'm going to place this one straight up. I'm going to do some glue on the sides, on all sides of my bigger piece, because we need to glue it on the inside. And that's the greatest. If you don't wait too long, then your glue is still workable and you can do anything with it. So just, there's no harm done. So you just very easy, just place it over here. Make sure that you have everything falling inside and this way. And you're just going to work with it and press it together. Just gently, the same like you did with the other one. So you just going to squeeze it, and if you're happy with the shape, then let it dry in for at least a couple of minutes, and then we're going to place this on top again. So now we only need to do some glue on the top side. We do a little bit extra because we ripped this one off, so we do this way, and we just simply place it on top again, and then press it down. Make sure that you have the line you want, and again we're going to let this dry in for at least an hour, hour and a half. Now we're going to make number 2. So now we're going to start with a kind of a square one. We have 4 sets of 5. So 4 sets of 5. And of course you can also make only the square one if you don't like the rectangle one. So I do it so fast as I can. So again, 4 rows of 5. And this will be more pieces of 5, but I start with the bottom and the top. Over here and over here, and fit it in. Just squeeze them, squeeze it and press it together. You do here the same. Make sure that you have it in the straight line. Here also the same. And we're going to clean it up and give it a half-minute rest. So now we're going to turn them both this way. Make sure that we have them on the side. We do some glue on the tops over here and place it down. You do here the same, some glue on the tops, place it down, and you're going to fill in the open gaps to make sure that you get a nice square. Also go down to the side, make sure that everything has a straight line over there also. And again, squeeze it, feel with your fingers, and again, wipe away the glue carefully. And if you wipe it, make sure that you squeeze this too. And again, you turn it over and you do this side. To place it straight up, clean it up, and do the back side. And now we're going to give it a couple of minutes drying. So now we're going to do the sides, and we need 8 rows of 4. So 8 rows of, not 8 rows of 4, 8 rows of 5, of course. But I think you already know that right now that I was not counting right. So you see, just simply make little squares out of it for the sides. And of course you can also do what I was debating, if I would do the sides 6 high or 5 high. I'm going to go for 5 because if you do 6, it's also possibility. It doesn't matter. You can do 6, but you can also do 5. But I think it's also a little bit tricky to get it really looking like a square. So we will see how this will turn out and if I count it right. But I'm going to do the 5 because I don't want to go too big. And we will see if this was a great idea or if it was a big mistake. There's also possibility here. You can like it or maybe you, you don't. And again, we're going to squeeze it and clean it up, of course, and let it dry in for at least a half minute, of only a half minute, not at least a half minute. So I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to boil with that. You see when it is finished. So now we have our 8 pieces. We are going to turn them 2 by 2 this way. And of course, this one over here, this one over here. I have to make a little bit of room just to fill them in. You see already, I'm just going to make one big, big mess out of it. So again, you see they are still not dry, but it doesn't matter because we only wait a half minute because then we can easy fill in the open gaps. And this way. And the last. I think it's a little bit of a chaos this morning, but this DIY. Bear with me, I don't know what it is, and I have to say it is really Monday today, so maybe that's the problem. So it's a little bit of chaos. So again, squeeze it together, make sure that you have a nice straight line, and I'm going to clean this up also and let it dry in for at least 10 minutes. So now we have our 6 square pieces. What we're going to do, we're going to place 2 of them straight up like this. Of course, we're going to measure out and dry a little bit. What we're going to do this way. And I'm going to look for this one. Of course, this one needs to be inside. That's why I do it dry and not with some glue. So just try to measure out already a little. Then I take one of them away. I'm just going to do some glue because we did it with a rectangle a little bit wrong. So that's why I learn and I do it a little better. This one will be here. And now I'm going to do this one. And this one. And I'm going to do it over here on this side. And now we're going to give it a little bit of pressure, not too much. A little bit and then go back and make sure that you get your shape back over here. And of course also on this side, make sure that everything has a nice shape. And then you're going to, when you're happy, you're going to let this dry in for at least, now, I think 10 minutes. So I did wait a couple of minutes and I'm going to do now a little bit of the glue, but more a little on the inside of the box, not on the outside. So a little on the inside, and we place one of them on top of here. Look which one is the flattest, and you can place it best on top of here, over here, and give it a little bit of pressure, not too much, only a little. And then you're going to let it fall down and let it dry in also a couple of minutes before we're going to turn it. So I gave it a couple of minutes and I'm going to turn mine this way. And of course I do it gently because when you want to be sure that everything is with wood glue dried, always leave it overnight. But I do it a little faster. Now we do on the inside a little glue for over here. And of course be sure that every block has a little bit of glue. And then you place the flattest side of this one also on top of here. And you see already the blocks are fitting nicely, but they have a little bit sticking out. If you want to work it away, you can sand it. But for me, I don't mind. I like a little bit of imperfection because that is also DIY. DIY is that it is from you. You made it. So that's why I love it this way. And it gives also a little bit of oldness, of maybe uniques on it. So I'm going to squeeze it and let this dry also before we're going to paint this one. So, and now we're going to make a really small one. And of course, if maybe you like the smaller one the best, and you can make a couple of them. So you can choose out which one you like the best and which is fitting, of course, for your decor. And again, we're going to squeeze it this way and this way. We're going to clean it up. Get it off the table and do the back side also. Here the same, squeeze it, take it off, and again, we're going to let it dry because we don't need an extra one, so we don't place this one too on the sides. So now we have, of course, the bottom and the top, and we need now the sides, and we have 2 rows of 4 and 2 rows of 3. So 2 of 4 and 2 of 3, and we do some glue on this one over here and this one, and just row it together. We do here the same, and this one. And now the 2 pieces of 3 and this one, and you're just going to squeeze it, clean it up, and let it dry in for at least also a couple of minutes. So now we're going to take the 4 pieces of 3 we have, and what we're going to do, we're just going to make a kind of a square out of it. We do 2 blocks this way, some glue, and of course we're going to glue one over here and one, of course we do also some glue on this one on both sides, and we glue this one over here, and we fill it in with this one, and again squeeze it together like this and press it lightly, and make sure that you're happy with the shape it is turned into, and then let it dry in for at least a couple of minutes. So now we're going to do with this one also the same. Do some glue a little bit more on the inside than the outside, and then you place one of the pieces of 4 on top of here, and again squeeze it down. Feel with your fingers that you have it a little bit in glued the same over here. And of course this one is easy. You easily can turn it around and do the top side also immediately, because this is so small, so this doesn't matter. So again, you place the other one of 4 on top of here, and again give it some pressure down, feel with your fingers, and again go back and make sure that you have a straight line. And when you're happy with the shape, let it dry in for at least also a couple of, maybe 20 minutes before you're going to paint it. So I leave mine to rest also, and then we're going to paint it. So now I have all 3 of them, and I have here my double layered kitchen towel, which is of course from paper. And I do most of the time I do my paint on top of here, because I can easily throw it away. What I'm using the white, and I'm going to give it a little light whitening look, so the wood is still coming through. I gave mine the theme with some gingerbread pieces I have, and of course, but you can change it up. You can do it for the Grinch, you can do it for, maybe if you see this video later, you can do it for the Easter, for every season you can change it up, and even for your everyday decor, you can change them up also in the gold and silver color, and then give it nice ribbons and nice bling to it. So you can go all the way with this piece. Now it looks really strange and you think what I have to do with it, but later I hope you see that it looks very nice. So I have now all my pieces in the distressed white color, and of course you can do anything on top. You can do some dots on top of him, some little squares, you can do some flowers, you can do anything on top of here. I'm going to go in with my twine, but this is the red and white twine. So I'm going to first go to the bigger one over here, and I'm just going to very simply just start on this part, and I'm just going to do some kind of pieces, maybe, I don't know how many times I'm going to do it around over here, and of course I'm going to get it a little bit together like this. I don't want to have perfect, because I don't like to have it perfectly. I have to do it a little bit this way, and then I'm going to go, and I'm going to go down, and I'm going to go this way, over here, and of course I do it also a couple of times. And you don't have to do it the way that I do. You can do it much different than I do. I'm going to cut off a little piece. I'm going to do it on the underside over here, because we don't want that it is cracking out. So I'm going to do this one under here, and make sure that I keep everything in tight with this one. So I'm going to make a knot over here and over here. And now I'm going to make sure that I'm going to do it a little bit together that it looks also a little bit more like a package. Over here, this one a little bit move around. So this is what I'm going to do with all 3 of them. So a little like this. And see whether you can do it any way you like. You can do this one also a little higher. So you can give it your own twist on it. So you see, now we did very easy. We did this, just turn a couple of this one, a couple of turns this one. You can do it any way you like, but this is just the simple version. Now I'm going to make a top, and of course we're going to make a bow. I'm not going to do a difficult bow. I just do a simple bow, but I do it with a couple of threads bigger, because this one is also bigger. So I'm going to make this mine also a little bit wider. So, but before I'm going to take out some packets of this one. I think you can buy them really everywhere. You also can take a piece of cardboard, just do a little bit an opening inside of here, and you can make your own. I have my brown pieces over here. I'm going to do a little thread with the red and the white. Of course, I'm going to show it to you this way. I do it over here, and I'm going to look for how long I want to have it, and like this. And I think I'm going to look for that I can lay it over here. So I'm going to push it under and just simply make a little knot at the ending before I'm going to make my bow. And I see already this is not totally the way I want to have my knot, because or else he is going outside of each other, and that's not what we want. So again, a simple knot over here, and I'm going to make sure that this is coming this way around. And you can place the name of a person you like, or you can do maybe some decor piece on top of it. You can change anything you like. I'm going to do the other 2 also with a little tag. So now we have our tags on top of here, and of course we are going to make a bow, but we're going to make a very simple one. So like I told you, I'm just going to take maybe 30 centimeters, I think a little bit like this, and I'm going to double it up. This is for the bigger one. I'm just going to turn it around. Maybe I don't know how much turns I will do. I like a little bit of a bigger piece, but it's not everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone is liking the way that I like it. So again, I'm going to do this way, and I'm going to cut it. I have it now, I think 3, 4, 5, 6 layers. So again, we do turn it around, cut open the other side, and over here, and I think I have 1 to go. Yeah, you see already, this one I need to cut still. Over here, and now I have just 6 strings of my piece, and I'm just going to make a simple, the way you tie your shoes. And you can use any piece you like. You don't have to use twine. I like it, but you don't have to do it. Of course, I have to take mine this way. You see already, I don't know what I'm doing, but it is really, it is really strange what I'm doing right now. So it has to cut them. I don't know what I'm doing. You see already, for me it's already very difficult to tie my shoes. And now I'm really, you see already, now I'm falling through. Now I'm going to do it this way. And we go turn this one down and this one. And again, we take all 6 strings and just pull them together and just do it as long as you like it. Of course, I need to cut this one a little bit shorter. And you see how simple it is just to make a simple bow. And of course, like I told you earlier, you can do it with some ribbon. I'm going to glue it on the bigger pack. So you see already, I packed now my little package, and of course I have now some greenery. You can leave it this way, but I like also to have a little bit of greenery with it. So I keep it simple. So I'm just going to have 2 pieces, and it's very easy now. It's very easy. This is a long one, so I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter this way. And I have a shorter one, and I'm cutting off the underside because I don't like the plastic look under it. So I'm going to do a little bit of glue on the top side over here on this one. And I just lay the other one on top of there to make just kind of a 2-piece. You can do also a 3-piece. Be careful that you don't burn yourself, because that's not what you want. I'm going to do a little bit of glue on the underside on both of them. And I'm just going to place it a little in the corner under here. Just don't do it too difficult. This way. And I do now one on this side. Of course, we need to be careful with the lime wires. And again, we do it, I think, a little over here, so this can come out. So I do a little glue on this side. And we just pull this down and just make sure that we just place it inside of here and press it in and keep it in place for a little moment until it is dried up. So, and then you can see your piece is coming out over here. And you can leave it this way, but you also can do a couple of berries. Just have to cut them over here. And I just do a simple, a little bit of glue on the ending. And just place them inside. I am looking for my second one. Of course, he is here. And I'm going to do a little glue on this one. And I'm just going to place this one beside this one. And you see how simple it is. Make your own a little Christmas present from wood. And you can, of course, change it for every season you want. Of course, in a moment you see the quick impression how he really turned out. And here you see finally a quick impression of my tumbling tile blocks little presents. And of course, like I told you earlier, you can change them up any way you like. Of course, I hope you give this one a try. And if you're new here and you're not subscribed to the channel, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button. Everyone have an amazing day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!
Snowflakes falling like a glitter parade. Every corner's a candy cane arcade. Lights are winking, streets are singing. The season's here, the joy keeps ringing. The world feels alive tonight, wrapped in a ribbon of golden light.